Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to have some Division 20 online ranked gameplay in the middleweight division using the former middleweight champion Israel Adesanya. And this will be the last video that I film on UFC 4 because UFC 5 is just days away now. I went through a bit of a period here where the UFC 4 it did just drop off, and the content around it, I just wasn't playing the game too much, and I don't like putting videos out just for the sake of it. I always like to make them informative or entertaining, but I couldn't leave it on a bad note, so I thought that this gameplay here using Izzy, who I don't use too much, would be a great way to cap off the UFC 4 era. But just want to say an absolutely huge thank you to all of you guys, because despite not uploading for around about a good few days now, still way over 660 subscribers, and I already started making content on UFC 4, so it's definitely gonna hold a special place in my heart. But that being said, cannot wait to see what UFC 5 brings. I'm very excited to showcase my skills and hopefully evolve as a fighter moving on to UFC 5. We know that I'm more of a ground game type of guy, and let's see what UFC 5 brings. Who knows, maybe my stand-up will be the next thing that needs to evolve. But overall, didn't get access to the beta, which I wasn't very pleased about. I wish I did. I put a lot of hours into this game. However, that being said, it's had mixed reviews online. I don't really like to base it too much of what I see other content creators saying. I'll take it at first base value when I play it. I'll decide after the first couple weeks my true feelings behind it. Don't think everyone should jump on the bandwagon of saying it's amazing or hating, especially when they haven't even got a chance to play it themselves. So just let the game come out, form your own opinions then. I'm sure there'll be pros and cons, as there is with any game. But yeah, overall extremely excited. It'll be nice. Can't wait to see the roster. I'm hoping that there's a fair few fighters, and just looking forward to seeing what they've done. I mean, it's been a while, so I'm expecting big things with UFC 5, as anyone should be that is paying this amount of money for a video game, especially when they've had 3 or so years to work on it. Expecting a lot. They're talking about a lot about the Frostbite engine, so it will be really interesting to see what that brings. And yeah, I know knee elbow spamming isn't going to be a thing anymore, but I wonder what the next meta is going to be, because there will be something, and someone will find it. But overall, can't wait to play UFC 5, have some games with you guys. I'm gonna pre-order it, so I'll get 3 days early access. But interested in filming with all the content creators that I filmed with this year. Shout out to everyone that's given me the opportunity to expand and showcase me on their platform. Shout out to my guy Goat, who's made plenty of videos with me, JMMA, JGza, Pry, anyone that I filmed content with. I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you, and shout out to my thumbnail maker Grapplurr, always doing a solid job, and a real stand-up guy. So really appreciative of everyone that's supported me along this journey, and I'm really excited for UFC 5, and I can't wait to continue to grow this channel and grow on to bigger and better things. And yeah, just can't thank you guys enough, because this has been a real good year, and I've really enjoyed making the content. Glad that you guys have enjoyed the videos, and let's hope that carries over into UFC 5. But speaking of UFC, this event coming up in Abu Dhabi's had all twists and turns. Obviously, Paulo Costa out now. Stepping in to face him is Kamaru Usman, and I feel like he's getting fed to the wolf here. Excuse the pun intended. I love Kamaru. I think Usman is a phenomenal fighter and a great professional. I just think you've got to give him credit for stepping in here, especially at middleweight. If Usman does this will be absolutely phenomenal, and then he'll get a title shot against Sean Strickland, who I definitely see as a more favourable matchup for him. And then, not to mention, you've got Volkanovski stepping against Israel. Sorry, I was looking at the screen, so Israel. You've got Volk stepping in against Islam, and Islam I do think is going to win, but what happens if Volk wins? What happens then? I do think that Craig Jones is saying all the right things, that he needs to be aggressive and look for the finish, because that gas tag is going to be there. The knee bars from Turtle could be huge, but it's not a big part of Volk's game, so I don't really see that come into fruition. I was really excited to see Charles Oliveira, because he's just one of my favourite fighters, and that's where I think someone like Charles could really really cause threat is positions like knee bars, from getting, from being in turtle. That would be pretty interesting to see, but unfortunately we're not going to see that fight. Hopefully we do see it in the future, or whoever wins this fight faces Charles. I know Justin will probably be next in line, but I just feel like Charles Oliveira has to have it. That guy is something special, and he is illuminated by God, so we'll see what happens there. But like I said, can't wait to see what Usman does as well. I do sort of feel like he's being fed to the wolves, but if there's anyone that can do it, and you've got to give praise to Usman and Alex, because this is the true definition of a fighter. They don't care. And shout out to Islam as well. He didn't care if it was Volk. He couldn't care less. You're the champion of the world. It doesn't matter who's in front of you. You've just got to go out there and fight them. Hopefully next year Izzy reclaims his belt. He's talking about taking some time off, which is a shame, because I'm a real big Izzy fan. I think people love to hate on Israel for no reason. And Adesanya is one of the most beautiful martial artists when it comes to striking. Probably the best we've seen inside the UFC octagon, or at least I have watched Silver, but I watched him on tail end of his career, and what he's done is just phenomenal. How active he's been, and it's going to go unnoticed and underappreciated because people like to get triggered by some of the stuff he says, which is ironic now that Sean Strickland's a champion and says, a lot of questionable stuff. But you've got to give people flowers while they're here, because you don't want to leave it until it's too late and he's left the sport, and then you realise how big of an asset he actually was. Very interesting landscape for the UFC overall. Will be very, very interesting to see how many changes there are in champions next year. I do think Izzy will come back and get that middleweight belt, and I want to see how long Sean O'Malley stays champion for. He's going to be fighting Cheetah. I think that's locked and set, and I think that will be a dub for him. But we'll see. I mean, on to the next. I just can't wait to see the UFC just growing exponentially, so I can't wait for that. But just want to reiterate one more time to you guys, huge thank you to everyone that supported me, and look at that filthy knockout. So last video of UFC 4, shout out to you guys for watching. I'll catch you with the next video with some UFC 5 gameplay. See you next time.